Hello everyone! If I had to describe myself, I wouldn't say I'm a certified or registered nutritionist, no. But the thing is, I'm also not less than that. I'm a nutrition science graduate who understands health systems, research, and public health problems. I'm sharing this not because I have answers, no, but because many of us are stuck between regulations, money, and identity. And staying silent about it only makes it even heavier. So, I graduated from Gadjah Mada University, one of the leading universities in Indonesia. At that time, everything felt right. Like, when I was accepted into a health nutrition major, I imagined a very, very clear path. Like study hard, graduate, get my SDR certification, and maybe work in a hospital or open a clinic one day. That was the plan. But in 2023, things changed. A new regulations was introduced under law number 17 of 2023. Bachelor's degree graduates in nutrition no longer automatically receive a certificate or SDR. And to obtain SDR, we need to complete a professional program, either as a nutritionist or a dietitian. This regulation came right before my graduation. Boom! And that moment really hit me. Not because I completely disagree with this regulation, no. I understand the intention. It may help Indonesia have more competent nutritionists or dietitians. But here was my reality. The professional program is expensive for me, and I don't have a family safety net, I couldn't just pay to continue. There was no shortcut. That was, So I graduated on time, I had a good grade, and on paper everything looked fine. But after graduation, I felt completely stuck. Without SDR, I couldn't work in a hospital. At the same time, finding a job as a fresh nutrition graduate was extremely difficult. Yes, I know there were job opportunities, even government programs like makanan bergizi gratis, but something inside me didn't feel aligned. I felt stuck, I felt useless, I felt like I was nobody, compared to my friends who already had SDR. That was one of the hardest moments for me, not academically, but emotionally. So, I made a decision. I told myself that maybe I needed to stop idealizing hospitals and clinics as the only valid workplace for a nutrition graduate. So I started applying to healthcare-related roles that didn't require certification, like research roles, content roles, health tech positions, and it wasn't easy, I was rejected many times, and there was a period where I applied to almost 5 companies a day. Then about 3 months after my graduation, I was finally accepted as a researcher and copywriter at an Australian-based health tech startup, something like that. That job finally helped me breathe again, But I also knew I didn't want to stop there. And then I applied for the Australia Award Scholarship and I was rejected. Then I applied for the LPDP Scholarship to pursue my master's degree in nutrition in London, and this time I was accepted. Okay, so where am I now? I'm still working at the startup. And either this year or next, I'll be leaving for London to pursue my master's degree in nutrition. But if I'm being honest, I'm still unsure, I don't know if I'll still idealize hospitals as my dream workplace. I don't know if I'll build my own startup. I don't know what certification I'll pursue in the future, and I'm slowly learning to sit with that uncertainty. And I'm sharing this not to give advice, that's the thing. And not to present myself as someone who has everything figured out. No, I'm sharing this because I know there are people out there who feel stuck, not because they didn't try hard enough, no, but because the system changed, money became a barrier, and the normal path, graduate SDR, work in hospital, was no longer accessible. This is a story about what happens when that normal path disappears and you have to invent another way forward without certainty. And I think the hardest lesson I've learned in this is when a system no longer has space for you, it doesn't mean you are useless. It means your value can no longer be measured by the old rules. I don't know exactly where I'll end up. I don't know what title I'll carry in the future. But I'm still moving, still learning, still choosing not to disappear just because I don't fit a label. And for now, that's enough. If you are in a similar position, stuck between regulations, money, and uncertainty, feel free to share your story in the comments and I'll read them. And it helps to know we are not navigating this alone. And if you want to stay for more honest conversations like this, you're welcome to subscribe. Okay, thank you for listening. Goodbye.